So now, continuing with regard to market profile, volume profile, I do use volume profile, and it reveals natural turning points like I've talked about. But just like I mentioned, similar to any support or resistance, sometimes it'll hold beautifully, other times, wow, it went right through it. I wonder what went wrong. Things don't necessarily go wrong. There could just be a higher time frame involved. That means a larger pool of liquidity that simply gobbles up the smaller time frame liquidity, and in the process breaks through what looks like a strong potentially strong support or resistance. But the market does repeatedly react at these zones. It doesn't always do it. As you know, if you traded for any length of time, the market does color outside of the lines. It is dynamic. Sometimes it will cooperate in a little way, sometimes perfectly, and all the way in between. But if you have the point of knowing where a market is likely to turn is simple. The point is, as traders, we need a steady supply of potential opportunity. If we have a steady supply, first of all, it enables our business to function. You have to have something to work with in the first place. On top of that, it can be a huge stress reducer, because rather than looking at a move and saying, if this doesn't work, my whole week is shot, or my whole month, or whatever, it can, when we know we have a steady supply, it can take the pressure off tremendously. And instead of trying to squeeze everything and second guess, and should I stay in longer, should I this time, this time should I not move my stop, this time should I change my profit objective, all these bright ideas that I know I've gotten in the midst of a trade, and then I look back and I realize, wow, I left my stop at break even, I could have made X amount of dollars per contract, and now boom bam, it's back at my stop, tagged me out, and I made very little or nothing. Well, when you have a steady supply of legitimate, good, workable trade opportunity zones, that pressure can, over time, diminish. And you can then learn how to function, being happy with this trade gave this much, and you move on to the next because you know there are many more to come. And so it's a huge, huge change in perspective over a little bit of time. It just takes a little getting used to.